Welcome to Easy Learning zed-Mathematics. The future is bright. Thank you so much for joining me. In this video, I'm going to go through English language paper. That is English language paper 2. It's the one I'm going to go through, as you can see on the screen. This is the paper that the 2025 GCE candidates wrote. So they wrote it on Friday, 1st August 2025. So as you can see on the screen. So this paper mostly takes about 2 hours. So I want to be with me. I'm not going to go up that far. I'll try to fast so that I'm going to consume a lot of the time as we are writing exams. So I'm going to answer all the questions and I will be giving detailed explanations on every answer I give and why they are correct. If there are multiple choices, I'll also talk about why the other answers are not correct. So I want you to watch this video up to the end so that you don't miss a point and we revise with you, we prepare together. So without wasting your time, let's get started. Okay, we come to question 1, which is structure, which has got 20 marks. So question 1, which is structure, has got 20 marks. So in this question, there are 2 sections under this question. So there are 2 sections under this question. Answer both section 1 and section 2. Okay, so let's start with section 1, which is vocabulary, and see 10 marks. So let's listen to what the instructions are. There are 20 sentences in this section. From the list given below, choose one word which means the same or similar as the underlined words in the given sentences. Write the chosen word in the blank spaces provided at the end of each sentence. Use each word only once. Okay, those instructions are simple and straightforward. Okay, so we have got a lot of words here. We have got lot of words. Okay, so I'm going to be very fast in my answering. I'm not going to be looking around for words because I've already worked out this paper. So I'm going just to be giving you reasons why I feel the answer I've given you is correct. Okay, so let's start. Let's go to the questions. I'm not going to go and read through these words. I'm not going to read out these words. Okay, I'm just going to go to question 1. Then I'll be looking for the words there. Okay, so question 1 is, she was a label against the government. Okay, so she was the label against the government. So the correct answer here is renegade. Okay, renegade. Okay, I hope my handwriting is visible enough. Let me see if I can be writing. Okay, bear with me if my handwriting is not all that visible. So renegade or renegade. Okay, we come to 2. Question 2 is, to their astonishment, prisoners who were under death sentence were pardoned by the state. Okay, so the word that means pardoned, the other word among these words which means pardoned. So when you look at these 20 words, which word means pardoned? So the word that means pardoned is, let me be underlining those words I'm using. So is reprieved. Okay, so I'm going to write reprieved there. Okay, okay, so that is the word reprieved. Okay, now we go to question 3. So I haven't been talking about these words. Let me talk about renegade. So renegade is someone who labels or desert a group or authority, especially government. Okay, it is renegade. Reprivate, what is reprivate? Is to be reprivate is to be, okay, it means to be granted a delay or cancellation of punishment, especially a death sentence. So it's more of being pardoned. Okay, we come to 3, which is the sign writer found it difficult to decode the symbol. So the word decode means what? Okay, so among those words, the word decode means decipher. Okay, so what is decipher? Okay, let me just write it before I give the explanation. Okay. Okay, all right. Decipher means to interpret or make sense of something difficult to understand, like a symbol or code. Okay, so this is G. Please bear with me. I'm using the mouse to write, so in case my writing is not okay, I'm sorry. Okay, we come to question 4, which is the game ranger accidentally shot an elephant. So accidentally shot an elephant. So what is the word that means accidentally? That is inadvertently. Okay, so that's a word. Okay, inadvertently. Okay, I hope we are able to see writing. Okay, at least there. Okay, we go to question 5. Let's go to question 5. Okay, question 5 is as follows. Okay, so let me talk about what is inadvertently means doing something unintentionally or by accident. That is inadvertently. Okay, we come to 5. Parents always advise their children to keep company with disciplined learners at school. Okay, so what is keep company with? Okay, so to keep company with is to, let's check the word that means to keep company. Okay, that is the word associate. Okay, so you associate with disciplined children, so that means you play with disciplined children. So there we can write the word associate. Okay, okay, that's the word associate. Okay, we come to question 6, which is the bank manager has seen a meanness look in one customer. The bank manager has seen a meanness look in one customer. Okay, so which word means meanness among the given words? Okay, so the word that means meanness is threatening. Okay, see, threatening. So that's a word. So we're going to write meanness. So we're going to say threatening. Let me just write properly. Okay, so meanness means threatening. Okay, threatening. Okay, we come to question 7, which is there are big income inequalities between the rich and the poor in Africa. There are big income inequalities between the rich and the poor in Africa. So we want to look for the word that means the same as equality. Okay, not being equal. So what word means equality? That is disparity. Disparity means inequalities. Disparities means inequalities. So we can definitely write that word disparities. Okay. Disparities. Okay. Disparities. So that is the answer. So did I explain on threatening and association? I'm not sure. Let me just go through very fast. Associate. To associate means to spend time with or be in connection or in contact. So let me say be in contact with others, especially in friendship or companionship. That is association. Okay. Then threatening is describing something that is that appears dangerous. Okay, that is threatening, describing something that appears dangerous or likely to cause harm. Okay. We come to 7. We are talking about disparities. What is disparities? Disparities are differences or inequalities, especially in terms of wealth or status. These disparities. Okay. Now let's go to question 8, which is the speaker's speech was incoherent as a result. No one understood what she was talking about. Okay, so people didn't understand what the speaker was talking about because the speech was incoherent. Okay, so what does coherent means? Okay, so what does coherent mean? So coherent means is inarticulate, not able to say things clearly. Okay, so not able to say things clearly. That means we can say, we can look for any word that means that is inarticulate. Okay, so we are going to write inarticulate, not being able to say things clearly. Speaking again is a skill that everyone needs to achieve, because some people like me can have good ideas, but how do we bring them out becomes a challenge. Okay, so sometimes you may be saying things properly, but if you don't articulate them well, people won't even follow you. Okay, so I have explained what inarticulate means and what incoherent means. Okay, which is not saying things clear in order. Okay, and not being able to express yourself effectively. Okay, so now let's go to 9. The king was forced out of power by the neighboring kingdom. The king was forced out of power by the neighboring kingdom. Okay, so which word means being forced out of power? Okay, so we want to look for the word that is being forced out of power. Okay, so let's see. It's there. I've seen it. It is hosted. Okay, have I underlined this word? I've underlined it because I'm underlining all the words I'm using. Okay, so hosted or ousted, so whichever way you pronounce it, so that is hosted or ousted. That is the word. That's the correct word for that. That is the correct answer for that one. Okay, we come to 10, which is I've explained what is to be ousted is to be removed. Okay, to be removed, okay, or overthrown, something like to be removed. Okay, so we come to 10. Mutinta wants to emulate her brother's academic achievement. Mutinta wants to emulate her brother's academic achievement. Okay, so what does the word emulate mean? So to emulate is something like you want to do just the same as you, like in this sentence, Mutinta wants to perform academically or to achieve academic achievements just like her brother. Mtinta wants to emulate her brother's academic achievement. So she wants to perform just like her brother. So what word is saying like trying to follow, copy, something like that. So the correct word is model, okay, or imitate. So here the best word which is CX, model. So to model someone means to imitate or follow the example. So the correct word is there is okay, model, okay, okay, model, okay. So 10 we are saying it's model. Let's go to question number 11. The community later on discovered that the man who collected information from them was not a government official but a matriculate. Okay, so the person was getting information. They thought at first that he is from government or is a government official, but they later learned that it's not. Is matriculate. Okay, so what word means matriculate? So this is a person that is pretending to be someone else, but he's not. Okay, so when you're pretending to be someone else, what word can we use to a person, to describe a person who impersonates to be someone else? That is imposter. Okay, imposter. Okay, so we go and write that word imposter. Okay. Okay, so if someone tells you, say you're an imposter, that means you're trying to be someone else. You're not showing your true color. I think there is power in living a life that is reveals the real you instead of pretending being an imposter. Okay, now let's go to 12. 12 is being young. Being young, the singer was frightened by the huge crowd. Okay, so frightened. So what word means frightened? Okay, so when you are frightened, you are scared somehow. You are scared, you fear. Okay, so what word can we use there that also means frightened? Okay, so when you look at the words, the correct word that means frightened, that is intimidated. Okay, so frightened, that means intimidated. So if you are intimidated, that means you are scared of something or you are frightened of something. So here we can say intimidated. Okay, that means you are scared. Intimidated, that means you are scared. Please bear with me. I'm using the mouse to write, so if the handwriting is not all that good, please bear with me. I'm sorry, I'm using the mouse. Okay, let's go to question 13. Question 13 is as follows. My father is always conscious about my appearance before I go to school. My father is always conscious about my appearance before I go to school. So which word means conscious among those words given? Which word means conscious? Okay. Okay, the word that means conscious is, let's look for it among the words. So meticulous means you are conscious of something. It's okay for the parents to be conscious of how you are dressed or how you are going to appear. In fact, we are there to model you on how you dress. So the word is, okay, so the word we found is meticulous. Okay, so it's meticulous, so we're going to write meticulous. So meticulous is being conscious. Okay, now what is being conscious? Okay, is to take note of how you are dressed. So my father always take note of my appearance, okay, before I go out. So that is being conscious. You consider, you are concerned, something like concerned. That is, now you get concerned, how is my child looking, like how is his appearance or her appearance? Okay, so that's what it means there. Okay, question 14. My journey from Kitwe to Kasama was tiring that I fell asleep. My journey from Kitwe to Kasama was so tiring that I fell asleep. Okay, so let's go there and find the other word that means tiring. Okay, so the other word that means tiring is tedious. Okay, so if you say I did a tedious job, that means I did a tiring job. Okay, so here we're going to write tedious. Okay, here is T here. Okay, tedious. Okay, that is tiring. Okay, we come to 15, which is Zambia national football team lost the match, but they should not be disheartened. Okay, Zambia national football team lost the match, but they should not be disheartened. Okay, so what is the other word that means disheartened? Okay, the other word that means disheartened. Okay, so let's go on the words and look for the word that means disheartened. So let's look at the words. So disheartened, that is demoralized. Okay, demoralized. Okay, so that is demoralized. So let's go and look at the word demoralize. Okay, so they should still feel morale to play football. Okay, okay, so that is the word demoralized. Have I spelled the word properly? Oh, you can see. Oh, that's not the way I'm supposed to spell it. It's supposed to be demoralized. E-H-C-R-A-S-E-D. Demoralized. Okay. Now let's go to 16. Okay. We come to question 16, which is okay, we come to 16. The family tried to convince him not to study music. However, he was determined not to be persuaded about it. Okay, the family tried to convince him not to study music. However, he was determined not to be persuaded about it. Okay, so what word means the underlined words, which is determined not to be persuaded. Okay, so that means he was not willing to change his mind. He really wanted to study music. So let's go and look for the word that means the same as not willing to change his mind. So that is adamant. Okay, so if you are asked to say, why are you adamant about this situation or story, that means why don't you want to leave it, that story? And so you just insist that maybe whatever is happening, whatever course you have taken should be taken. So that means the correct answer here is adamant. Okay, that's the word adamant. Okay. 17. Zambia has cordial relations with Tanzania. Zambia has cordial relations with Tanzania. So what is cordial? Okay, what is cordial? Okay, so that is question 17. What is cordial? So let's go and look for the word that means the same as cordial relationship. Okay, so let's look. I'm just going to focus on the words that are not used. Okay, here is the word. The other word that is cordial relationship, that is friendly relationship, a relationship that has no troubles. So that is friendly. Okay, so to have cordial relationship is to be in good relation. So that is friendly. Okay, that is friendly. Okay, to be, so the word cordial means friendly. Okay, we come to 18, which is the freedom fighters played a crucial law in Zambia's independence. Okay, crucial law. So when we talk about crucial, it's something that is important or the main factor. Without that, maybe let me say, give an example of anything. Let's say to become a doctor, sciences and mathematics play a crucial role. That means they are very important in becoming a doctor. You need to do well in science and mathematics. So crucial, that means important. So let's go and look for a word that means crucial or something important among those words. Okay, so we are remaining with the few words, but the word I've seen it's pivotal. Now when you say being a doctor, sciences and mathematics are pivotal. That means they are very important for you to become a doctor. So crucial means pivotal. So we can write that word, pivotal. Okay, same. They are very important. Okay, so the freedom fighters played a pivotal role in Zambia's independence. Again, the sentence is correct and it hasn't changed in meaning. We come to 19. The company was in conformity with the government regulation. Okay, the company was in conformity with the government regulation. So the word conformity, what does it imply? So conformity is like following the guidelines. Following the guidelines, something like that. So let's go and look for the word that can tell us that somebody is been following the guidelines. Okay, so we have come here. Let's look for the words, those that have underlined. Be with it and what? Compliance. Okay, so compliance is the one that means you have been following the guidelines. So compliance. So let's go and write the word compliance there. Okay, so we say compliance. Okay, that is compliance. So the correct answer there is compliance. Okay, so we are remaining with one word and one sentence, so definitely we know the answer. So the grandmother willed her wedding dress to her granddaughter. The grandmother willed her wedding dress to her granddaughter. So to will, that is to pass or to leave something. Okay, when you say there is a will, in a will that is a document where how things for the deceased will be left, or who is going to be in charge of those, or how they are going to be shared. So like you pass on, the wealth you have, you pass on to others. So the word that means pass on anything, the mantle, whatever you are giving, so that is bequeathed. Okay, so let me write that word. Okay, so we're saying bequeathed. Okay, like that, bequeathed. I hope you know that after Q there is UEA THED, bequeathed. Okay, so unless if there are questions, if there are no questions, basically that's how you answer these questions. So we have given 20 correct answers. We are done. So that's how I answer this question. So if there are questions, ask in the comment section. I'll be there to respond to you. Section 2, which is transformation, and it has got 10 marks. Okay, so the instructions are as follows. In each of the following items, sentence A is complete, but sentence B is incomplete. Complete sentence B each time, making it as similar as possible in meaning to the sentence A. Make sentence B one sentence, never two. Do not make any changes to the printed part of sentence B. Okay, so example, we have got an example here where it is the prince is intelligent and kind. Okay, the prince is intelligent and kind. So the answer here will be not only is the, remember they have said start with not only. So the answer will be not only is the prince intelligent, but he is also kind. Not only is the prince intelligent, but he is also kind. Okay, so that's how you write it. Okay, now let's go to our questions that we need to solve. Okay, so the question is as follows. Question 1a: a snake bit me when I was sweeping the bedroom. The snake bit me when I was sweeping the bedroom. Start sweeping. So to rewrite this sentence without losing the meaning of the sentence, how we should write it is sweeping the bedroom. Sweeping the bedroom, comma, I was beaten by a snake. Okay, then full stop. So make sure you punctuate your sentences properly. Lack of punctuating the sentences will lead to losing marks. Okay, so basically that's how you rewrite that sentence, and there is no meaning that has been lost. Sweeping the bedroom, I was beaten by a snake. Okay, so we go to number 2. Okay, the chief and his headmen are heading to an important meeting in the palace. The chief and his headmen are attending an important meeting in the palace. So start with the chief along with. So how do we write this sentence starting with the chief along with? So we write it, the chief along with his headmen is, so along with his headmen is attending an important meeting. So the common mistakes I see with the learners is where they put here, where this is, they put are, because it's saying the chief along with his headmen, so they want to say are. No, here the subject is the chief is attending an important meeting, so we put singular there. Okay, we come to question 3. Question 3 is as follows. The learners will not leave the school until they finish cleaning the surroundings. The learners will not leave the school until they finish cleaning the surroundings. So how can we write it if we are to start with the following words? Not until the learners, not until the learners. So how we write by starting with not until the learners. So you write it like this, not until the learners finish. Okay, not until the learners finish cleaning. Not until the learners finish cleaning the surrounding. Okay, finish cleaning the surrounding. Not until the learners finish cleaning the surrounding will they leave the school. So for the learners to go, they need to finish cleaning the school surroundings. If they don't, they are not going. Okay, so that is the answer. Okay, We come to number 4. Let's talk about number 4. Number 4 is Mwira cannot go to Solwezi if she does not ask for permission from her mother. Mwira cannot go to Solwezi if she does not ask for permission from her mother. So start with unless. So how do we write using unless? So we say unless Mwira asks for permission from her mother, then we put comma there. She can not go to Solwezi. Okay, she cannot go to Solwezi. Like that. That's how you write it. So Mwira cannot go to Solwezi if she does not ask for permission from her mother. So unless Mwira asks for permission from her mother, she cannot go to Solwezi. Okay. We go to question 5. Okay. So we come to question 5. Question 5 is as follows. Both Mwiza and Mwaka are not attending the wedding. Both Mwiza and Mwaka are not attending the wedding. So we are going to start with neither. So how do we write it? So neither, so we can say neither Mwiza nor Mwaka. Okay, neither Mwiza nor Mwaka is attending the wedding. Okay, neither Mwiza nor Mwaka is attending the wedding. Okay, so be careful with what you write here. So be careful with what you write here so that you don't make is here, you don't write plural. Neither Mwiza nor Mwaka are. That is wrong. You put is there. Okay, so that's the question that I can share with you on number 5. Question 6 is as follows. Since the farmers have harvested their crops, they can start selling. Since the farmers have harvested their crops, they can start selling. Start with now. So we want to write this sentence using now. Okay? So how do we write it using now? So it is written as follows. Now that the farmers have harvested their crops, they can start selling. Now that the farmers have harvested their crops, now that the farmers have harvested their crops, they can start selling. Okay, so let me write the way I'm reading it out. I'm not sure if the space is enough for handwriting. Let me try. Now that the farmers have harvested their crops, they can start selling. Okay, I think I was worried that maybe it won't fit. Now better that way. Okay, so that's how you write. Now that the farmers have harvested their crops, they can start harvesting. Okay, let's go to question 7. Question 7 is as follows. Immediately the children saw the dogs, they started running away. Immediately the children saw the dogs, they started running away. So to write this one, it's going to start with no sooner. So when we start with no sooner, and the sentence will be like this. No sooner had the children seen the dogs than they okay, no sooner the children seen the dog, no sooner had the children seen the dogs than they started running. Okay, so no sooner had the children seen the dogs than they started running. Okay, so that means the children immediately saw the dogs, they started running. Okay, we go to question 8, which is he likes eating bananas more than oranges. He likes eating bananas more than oranges. So we write the sentence above using he prefers. So how do we write it using prefers? So we can say he prefers eating bananas to, now here many students, they would put the word than, which is wrong. So you prefer something to something. Okay, so he prefers eating bananas to eating oranges. Okay, so here this verb eating may even be written once. So he prefers eating bananas to oranges. So meaning you are talking about eating bananas and eating oranges. So it's okay, but even the way I've written, they can also get a mark. Okay, you can get a mark. Here you are going to get a mark definitely if you wrote right. Number 9. Felix despises elderly people. Felix despises elderly people. So we write using Felix looks. Okay, so when you despise someone, you look down on, okay, or upon that person. So we can say Felix looks down, okay, on, or you can also use the word upon. So he looks down on or upon elderly people. Okay, so that's how you write. So Felix looks down, that is despise. Look down, that is despise. Felix looks down on or upon elderly people, that is despise. Okay, come to the last one, which is number 10, which is I will check all your exercise books if you finish this work on time, said the teacher. I will check all your exercise books if you finish this work on time, said the teacher. Okay, so how do you go about this one? So what you need to do is you'd write, so the instruction for writing is the teacher said that. So what did the teacher say? Okay, so you want to write what the teacher said. So you write it like this. The teacher said that he would check all our exercise book if we finished the work on time. Okay, so you are reporting. So you say the teacher said that he would, it is in the past, he would check all our exercise books, or our exercise books, if we finished the work on time. Okay, so that's how you write it. Remember, this is M, on time. Okay, and then there should be full stop. So punctuation marks are also very important as you write sentences. Okay, so basically that's how you rewrite these sentences, the 10 sentences that we are given. So if you have got questions, please you can ask in the comment section, but basically this is how we go about this section. We come to question 2. Question 2, that is comprehension, and it has got 20 marks. So the instruction for this question is as follows. Read the following passage carefully and then answer the questions that follow. Okay, so we're going to read the passage together, then later on we're going to answer the questions that will come after the passage. So let's read together. So basically, before we read, I want to share with you how you read. First of all, you read just to get the general knowledge first. Read through, you can be fast as possible, just to get the general knowledge of the topic in the passage. Sorry. So now once you have read, then you can, if you want, you can read twice. If you want, once, and then you go and start answering questions. Now, goodness of the questions, they also give you the paragraph you refer to as you answer that question, which is now you can come and read for understanding. Okay, that is just a tip when during the exams. But if you want, you can read for a rough idea the entire passage very fast, then you come and read for the details. But I would love you read for details when you come to answer the question. Okay, now let's go ahead and read. We start with paragraph 1. Jonas Salk was born in America in 1914. His father worked in a clothing factory. Salk studied at New York University of Medicine, where he graduated in 1939. From the start of his medical career, that same year, Salk was interested in viruses. These are thin parasites, organisms which are visible only under a powerful microscope. Paragraph 2. In 1947, after working on the subject for several years, Salk became interested in polio, a disease against which there was no protection at the time. The disease was common and worldwide, and by the early 1950s, several epidemics had broken out in Europe and America. Paragraph 3. The virus enters the body through the throat and attacks the spinal cord. In most cases, the patient recovers, but where the attack is severe, it can destroy the nerves. As a result, the patient can become severely paralyzed. Paragraph 4. What is interesting is that although improved sanitation reduces the chances of infection, it also increases the chances of an epidemic. In poor countries, infants come into contact with the disease and develop immunity to it. Where the standard of hygiene is high, natural immunity is rare, and the disease, once introduced, can become epidemic. Also, the chances of the disease becoming severe and causing paralysis is much higher in older, more active children than it is in infants. Paragraph 5. Salk studied all the works available in viruses and vaccination from Edward Jenner's discovery of the smallpox vaccine. He decided to develop a vaccine for the disease. In 1953, Salk announced that he had developed his trial vaccine. It contained some dead polio viruses and penicillin. Salk, with his wife and 3 children, was among the first to receive the vaccination. It proved to be safe and effective. The following year, a mass trial was launched in which hundreds of school children were vaccinated. Paragraph 6. In addition to the injected Salk vaccine, an oral one has been produced which is now widely used. It was first introduced in 1961 after being developed by Albert Sabin, another American scientist. Polio is now under control. Okay, so this article I was reading, or that came in this paper, was adapted from Scientists and Inventors by Anton Feldman and Peter Ford. Okay, so now once you have read the passage, what you can do is now you can go to the actual questions, or the questions that are in this. So let's read through the instructions for answering these questions. In each of the questions 1 to 9, select the best answer from the 4 options provided. Indicate your answer by drawing a circle around the letter on the question paper as in the example given below. If you change your mind, cross out the initial choice very neatly, then circle your revised answer clearly. For question 10, answer as instructed. Okay, so we have an example here, which is Jonas Salk's father worked in a clothing dash. So A, factory, B, industry, C, shop, D, store. So A is the best answer and has been circled. So that's how they want us to be circling our answer, just like they have demonstrated. Okay, now we have gone through the instructions. Let's go to the first question of this section. Okay, so from paragraph 1, Jonas Salk was born in the dash century. So when was John Salk born? So let's go. We go back to paragraph 1. So they're saying John Salk was born in America in 1914. So 1914, that is the 20th century. Now we are in 21st century. So 1914 will be 20th century. So the correct answer is C. The correct answer is C. So I'm going to circle C. Okay. Okay. I'm not going to be, whenever I find the answer, I'm not going to read the entire paragraph just because they have said in paragraph 1. Immediately I get the answer, you leave it. You are in an exam. Time matters in an exam, so don't waste time. We come to paragraph 2, which is question 2, which is also coming from paragraph 2. Paragraph 1, it's coming from paragraph 1. Viola says, so in paragraph 1, Viola says dash A cannot be seen by the naked eye. B are immense parasite organs. C are invisible under a powerful microscope. G are visible under any microscope. Okay, so we go back to paragraph 1 until we find what is being said there. Jonas Salk was born in America in 1914. His father worked in clothing factory. Salk studied at New York University of Medicine, where he graduated in 1939. From the start of his medical career that same year, Salk was interested in the viruses. These are thin parasite organisms which are visible only under a powerful microscope. That means they cannot be seen without microscope. So the correct answer there is going to be A, cannot be seen by naked eyes. If you don't have the microscope, you can't see the viruses. So if you want to see the viruses, then you can make use of the powerful microscope. So the correct answer there is A. Okay, now let's go to question 3. According to paragraph 2, for how long had Jonas Salk worked when he became interested in polio? For dash years. According to paragraph 2, for how long had Jonas Salk worked when he became interested in polio? So let's go to paragraph 2. Okay, so let's see. So okay, now let's read paragraph 2. In 1947, after working on the subject for several years, Salk became interested in polio, a disease against which there was no protection at the time. Okay, so now I've read that. So I became interested on polio, okay, in 1947, and he started working from paragraph 1, we are told, in 1939. So the difference of 1939 and 1947, that is the number of years he worked. Okay, so we can go to the question which is there. So the question is, according to paragraph 2, for how long had Jonas Salk worked when he became interested in polio? So for dash years. So he started working in 1939 and he was interested in polio in 1947. So it's in 1939, that's when he started working. So we find the difference. So there we are going to borrow 1 from 4, then it becomes 17, then 8, then here it's 3. So 3 you can see. So it's 8 years. So the correct answer is B. Okay, he was interested in polio after working for years. Okay, we go to question 4, which is also coming from paragraph 2. So the question is coming from paragraph 2. In paragraph 2, what could have been the reason for Jonas Salk to become interested in working on polio? Okay, because it dash A had no cure, B was common, C was worldwide, D was common, worldwide, and without cure. Okay, so let's go to paragraph 2 and read so that we know if D is the correct answer or what. In 1947, after working on the subject for several years, Salk became interested in polio, a disease against which there was no protection at the time. The disease was common and worldwide, and by the early 50s, several epidemics had broken out in Europe and in America. So, 1, we are saying it was common and it was worldwide. Okay, so there was no protection. Disease. Okay, so Salk became interested in polio, a disease against which there was no protection at the time. So there was no protection. That means there was no cure. Okay, so let's see which one will be correct. So I believe D is correct. Had no cure, that is true. Was common, sorry, that is true. Was worldwide, yes, that is true. It was all over. So D encompasses all the 3, so D will be correct. Number 4, the correct answer is G. Number 4, the correct answer is G. Okay, so we go to number 5. Okay, number 5. We can conclude from paragraph 3 that in most cases the patient recovers when the virus dash. We can conclude from the paragraph 3 that in most cases the patient recovers when the virus dash. Okay, so let's see. A, attacks less severely. B, attack severely. C, attack the spinal cord. D, enters the body through the throat. Okay, so let's go to paragraph 3 and read paragraph 3 again. So we are not going to get tired of reading. We'll continue reading. The virus enters the body through the throat and attacks the spinal cord. In most cases, the patient recovers, but where the attack is severe, it can destroy the nerves. As a result, the patient can become severe paralyzed. Okay, so when we go back to question 5, where they're asking us this question, question 5, they're asking us, we can conclude from paragraph 3 that in most cases, the patient recovers when the virus dash. Okay, so the correct answer is A, attacks less severe. Okay, so when you look at here, we are told in paragraph 3, we are told that can become severely, but where the attack is severe. Okay, so when the attack is severe, it can destroy the nerves. Okay, so that means the correct answer there is A. So the person can recover when he is less, the attack is less severe. So we put A there. Okay, let's go to question 6. Okay, from paragraph 4, which of the following statement is true? Improved sanitation. Improved sanitation. A, diminishes the natural immunity. B, enhances the natural immunity. C, increases the chances of infection. D, reduces the chances of epidemic. Okay, so let's go and see a correct answer. Okay, so let's go and read paragraph 4. That is paragraph 4. Not mistaken, yes, that is paragraph 4. Let's go and read paragraph 4 together. Okay. What is interesting is that although improved sanitation reduces the chances of infection, it also increases the chances of an epidemic. Okay, in poor countries, infants come into contact with the disease and develop immunity to it. Where the standard of hygiene is high, natural immunity is lower, and the disease, once introduced, can become epidemic. Also, the chances of the disease becoming severe and causing paralysis is much higher in older than active children. It is high in older, more active children than it is in infants. Okay, so now let's go back to the question. So the question is, what does the high, okay, which of the following statement is true? Improved sanitation diminishes the natural immunity. So meaning when there is improved sanitation, so children, they don't develop their own immunity system to prevent those diseases. But where there is poor sanitation, according to that passage, that paragraph, yes, where there is poor sanitation, children come in contact with that bacteria that causes those diseases, and then the body develops the immune system for that. You develop the immunity for that disease. So that's what it said. So the correct answer is A, diminishes the natural immunity. Okay. We come to question 7. In paragraph 5, how old was Jonas Salk when he announced that he had developed his initial vaccine? He was dash years. Okay, let's go to paragraph 5. So, paragraph 5, Salk studied all the works available in on viruses and vaccination from Edward Jenner's discovery of the smallpox vaccine. He decided to develop a vaccine for the disease. In 1953, Salk announced that he had developed his trial vaccine. So he announced in 1953. In 1953, he announced that he has developed the vaccine. Then when was he born? Salk was born in 1914. So 1953 he announced. So let's go and do the calculation. Okay, so here we do the simple mathematics. So Salk announced in 1953 and he was born in 1914. Okay, so 1914. So here to subtract, we are going to borrow 1 from 5, remain with 4 there. So we say 13 there, give us 9 here. Then 4 minus 1 will give us 3. Okay, then here we forget about this because they are the same. So 39 years old. So the correct answer is B. The correct answer is B. 39 years old. Okay, so that is the correct answer. 9 years old. Okay, we come to question 8, which is, in which year, according to paragraph 5, was a mass trial launched in which hundreds of the school children were vaccinated? Okay, in which year, according to paragraph 5, was the mass trial launched in which hundreds of school children were vaccinated? In dash A, 1952, B, 1953, C, 1954, D, 1961. Okay, so let's go and see when was the massive trial done. So so we're saying in 1953, Salk announced that he had developed his trial vaccine. It contained some deadly polio viruses and penicillin. Salk, with his wife and 3 children, was among the first to receive the vaccination. Okay, that is in 1953. It proved to be safe and effective. The following year, so the year that follows 1953, that is 1954. The following year, a mass trial was launched in which hundreds of school children were vaccinated. So there is 1954. Okay, so Salk's family were vaccinated in 1953. In 1954, the following year, there was a mass trial. Okay, we come to question 9. What is the title of the passage? Okay, dash Jonas Salk. Okay, A, biography of Jonas Salk. B, the history of Jonas Salk. C, the medical achievement of Jonas Salk. D, polio and Jonas Salk. Okay, so which one would suit best there? Okay, which one suit best? Okay, let's talk about, if we talk about biography of Jonas Salk, what are we talking about? Have we talked about other issues of Jonas Salk? No, we just talked about the life of Jonas Salk concerning health issues, polio, something like that, or health in general. When we talk about history of Jonas Salk, we haven't talked about other things like how he grew up after he was born, what kind of life he led, and other related issues. No. So when you talk about C, the medical achievement of Jonas Salk, this one could be correct. Okay, I'm going to rub it iffy. This one is talking about the achievement, the medical achievement of Jonas Salk, how he came up to invent polio vaccine. So can give it that title. When you look at polio and Jonas, not really. Okay, so the best answer there is C. So that's the best answer. Okay, now we come to 10. Okay, question 10. So question 10 is as follows. From the underlined words in the passage, find one word which means the same or nearly the same as the following words or phrases. Spell each word correctly. So we need to spell the words correctly. Okay, so let's go and hunt for this. So we are looking for a word without fear, without danger. Without danger. That means when there is no danger, it's safe. So let's look for the word first, safe. If we find the word safe, then that's okay. Okay, absence of danger, that is safe. Okay, so okay, it's here in paragraph 5. It proved to be safe and effective. So the correct answer there is safe. Okay, so we are just making sure that we are getting words that are underlined so that we don't make any mistake of picking a word that is not underlined. Serious. Okay, we come to number 2, which is serious. Something that is serious. Okay, when we say it's serious, we are talking about something that is serious is something that is let me see. Something is serious. I'm serious. That means there is a strong intent there, or there is strong attack, something like that. If we are talking about disease, if it's serious, that means is attacked severely. So let's look for word that means graduated, no, work, no, severe. Okay, severe, yes. So let's look for other word if there is another word that means interesting, no, layer, no, that doesn't mean severe. Safe, we have used it. Okay, so let's go with severe. Okay, severe. So the severe means serious as well. Okay, so we come here, right? Severe. Serious means severe. Okay, so you can even say the injury was severe or the injury was serious. So severe. Okay, fascinating. Okay, so fascinating is something that is interesting, that is engaging, that is marvelous to see or to do. That is fascinating. Okay, okay, so fascinating, we go and look for the way those words I've tried to mention. Interesting, captivating, something like that. Okay, so let's see any word you see. So we have horror, no? We have safe, no? Interesting. Okay, so interesting, that is also means fascinating. Okay, so don't even waste time. That word interesting means fascinating. Okay, so sorry, so here we can put the word interesting. Okay, we come to minute. Okay, last word, question 10, which is minute. Okay, so minute, there are minutes, hours, seconds, and minutes. Okay, then there is also minute. In other words, it means small, very small, very small, very small. Okay, so let's go and look for any word that can say very small. Now we're looking at this passage. This passage is talking about viruses, so it should be something very small, something related to being small. Okay, I know there are some, we can say record the minutes of the meeting, meaning you write what is being discussed in the meeting. Okay, but here we can talk of teen, that is, these are teen parasite, that is means minute or very small. Okay, so here word minute is meaning very small. Okay, so others, they even pronounce that one as they pronounce this word minute as minute. Okay, so minute means teen. Okay, it also means teen. Okay, teen means very small, very small. Okay, so basically that's how you answer those questions. So if you have got questions, please don't hesitate to ask in the comment section. Basically, those were answers that examiners expected you to write. Okay, we come to question 3, which is summary. It has got 20 marks. So the instructions for this question 3 is they are as follows. Read the following passage carefully and then answer the question that follows. So there is only one question in this question 3 part. Okay, so let's read the passage. That's what we have been taught. So let's read the passage. So first of all, like I said earlier on, when you're reading a passage, first you read for the general idea of the passage, then later on you read for understanding of the passage. So let's start reading the passage. So this passage is on caffeine. Okay, so paragraph 1. Caffeine is a natural stimulant that is found in coffee and tea, but it is also present in various other beverages. Different countries have varying regulation regarding the use of caffeine in food and beverages. Paragraph 2. Extreme high daily intake of caffeine have been reported to cause nervousness, jitteriness, and similar symptoms in most people. Caffeine increases alertness and words of drowsiness for people working night shift. This natural stimulant is known for its ability to enhance cognitive function, improve mood, and increase physical performance. However, individual responses to caffeine can vary, and excessive consumption may lead to side effects such as insomnia, increased heart rate, and digestive problems. Paragraph 3. Taking caffeine in excess leads to muscle breakdown. This is a very serious condition in which damaged muscles fibers enters the bloodstream, leading to kidney failure and other problems. It has been noticed that caffeine has cultural significance and is deeply ingrained in the daily rituals of many societies worldwide. Okay, come to paragraph 4. Caffeine has been shown to raise blood pressure due to its stimulatory effect on the nervous system. Elevated blood pressure is a risk factor for heart attack and stroke because it may damage arteries over time, restricting the flow of blood to your heart and brain. Okay. Caffeine is sometimes added to pain relievers, especially those used to treat headaches. Additionally, it is occasionally used in combination with other medication to manage respiratory ailments like asthma. Large doses of caffeine may cause your heart to beat faster and lead to altered heartbeat rhythm. It is worth noting that caffeine consumption has been associated with a reduced risk of depression and can contribute to a sense of well-being. It is heartening that caffeine fosters focuses and concentration. It is therefore a popular choice for students, professionals, and individuals engaged in tasks that require sustained attention. Increased urination is a common side effect of high caffeine intake. You may have noticed that you need to urinate frequently when you drink more coffee or tea than usual. There is no denying that caffeine intake may become habit-forming. It may lead to psychological and physical dependence. Studies suggest that caffeine has antioxidant effects which can help to neutralize harmful free radicals in the body. All the benefits of caffeine have been linked to moderate consumption. Okay, so now we have read that. Now in an exam for you, you need to read it the second time, even the third time, so that you can fully understand. Okay, so you just read it first and then understand. Okay, so I've gotten the general knowledge and I've read through this passage before I came to read here. So we can go ahead and do the summary. So I've done the summary here. So the question is, in not more than 125 words, sum up the positive effects of caffeine. The summary has been started for you. Okay, so what you can do is so here is the summary that I've composed. So in case you're asking, how do I come up with the points? Okay, so what I can encourage you to do is, I'm going to I've written a summary. Then how do you come up with the points to construct a summary? So that is the lesson that you need to do by joining our group. Then we are going to talk about how do you extract points from a passage to construct a summary. Okay, however, this is the summary I've made. Okay, so the summary is as follows. Caffeine has a number of positive effects. This was written for us, and it enhances alertness, wards off drowsiness, improves cognitive function, mood, and physical performance. It fosters focus on concentration, making it popular among students and professionals. Caffeine may reduce the risk of depression and contribute to a sense of well-being. It is sometimes, I don't know why other words this side are not seen. Okay, it is sometimes added to pain relievers to treat headaches and used with other medication to manage respiratory conditions like asthma. Additionally, caffeine has antioxidant properties that help neutralize harm-free radicals in the body. Its cultural significance is evident in daily rituals across society. All these benefits are linked to moderate consumption, as excessive intake may lead to adverse effect. Okay, so that is my summary which I have typed. So if you want to know how to get the points from the passage, okay, so I'll put a link for grade 12 WhatsApp, so you can join the link and then ask me the same passage. I'll show you how to extract, okay, the points from the passage. Okay, so that is what you are supposed to do. So if you have got questions, you can ask in the comment section. Otherwise, thank you so much for being with me up to this time. Thank you so much. If you found this video helpful, remember to like and share with friends. If you haven't subscribed to my YouTube channel, I encourage you to subscribe to my YouTube channel, and so make sure you invite your friends, your young brothers, as you are completing, because I know you're going to pass the exam just because you've come to Easy Learning zed-Mathematics. The future is bright, and to do well exam. So tell your brothers and sisters to also join this family that promotes. So with that being said, thank you so much. God bless you.